Chapter 4 American Laugh-Nosed Beat Sunday, January 6th, 1935. The next morning when I get up, I'm happy to find my father at the table reading the paper. I can feel how pleased he is to see me. This isn't something you can fake. "Hey," he says. "My mother is checking my sister's suitcase. I can't believe she's going today. I thought it was a week away at least." Nat has the kitchen chair pulled into the living room, wedged between three crates. "Hey, Natalie, the sun get up okay this morning?" I ask like I do every morning. She never answers, which used to really bug me. I hate being the brother of a stone. One day last year I got so mad I just walked right by her, didn't say anything, not one word. That day, after I left for school, my mom said Natalie sat outside my room and cried for 2 straight hours. Natalie isn't a crier. She's a screamer. You never see her cry for a plain old hurt. I'd say my mom made it all up, but she didn't know I'd snubbed Natalie. My mom had no idea why Natalie had cried. Now, I ask Natalie about the sun every morning, and it only bothers me a little when she doesn't answer. "So what would you like for breakfast on this very special day?" my mother asks her. "Lemon cake," Natalie says. She says this every day, too. And every day my mom says, "Silly sweet pea, you can't have lemon cake for breakfast." Why not? On a special day like today, lemon cake sounds like a fine idea. "What do you think, Moose?" my mom asks. "Sure," I say. My voice comes out high like a girl's. I never know whether I'm going to sound like Mickey Mouse or the giant on top of the beanstalk. Natalie turns all the way around and looks me straight in the eye in that weird way she has of suddenly being present after weeks of being somewhere else. "Don't look at me as if this was my idea. If it were up to me, we'd be in Santa Monica right this very minute," I say under my breath. My father reads Natalie headlines from the paper, adding numbers to every one. Work resumes on the Golden Gate Bridge. 103 men are put back to work. 2 quit, 7 scratch their heads, 5 have their feet up, 2 eat sausages for supper, 3 do not. "Breakfast," my mom calls. Natalie holds her face 2 inches from the plate. She eats so fast, it gives me a stomachache. When my dad's not around, I don't eat with her. "Natalie Flanagan's whole family," Nat says when I sit down. I wonder if she knows what's happening. We built the Esther P. Marinoff up like it's quite the place. Like maybe the King and Queen of England are sending their kids too. But somehow in all this talking, we ignored the major thing. You don't come home from the Esther P. Marinoff. Every morning when the sun comes up, that's where Natalie will be. My father wipes his wide mouth with his napkin. "What fun you're going to have, Natalie, with kids your own age." What age is that, I wonder? But I know what he means. Maybe she'll meet other kids like her. Maybe they'll recognize each other and communicate in their own peculiar way. When my mom has Nat ready to go, my father picks up her suitcase, hands Natalie her button box, and opens the door. "Moose," my mom says, as if she's now just noticed I'm there. "I don't think you need to come along." "Fine with me, I don't want to go anyway." I don't look at her, or my dad, or Natalie. "Helen!" My father's voice has a sting to it. "I just didn't think he'd want to go, Cam," my mother says. Of course Moose is coming. He hands Natalie's suitcase to me and pats me on the back. We can't do this without him. This reminds me of the time when I was 6 and my mom shipped me off to live at Graham's. She packed every pair of underwear I owned and she made it all seem like a big treat. When we got there, my Graham had an awful scowl on her face. She gave me a big hug and glared at my mother like I'd never seen her do. When my mom left, I heard Graham and Ed talking. Some cockamamie psychiatrist decides the problem is Natalie doesn't get enough attention, and Helen ships him off. Our Matthew. I'm happy as a pig in mud to have him here, but it's a darn fool thing. What child doesn't have a brother or sister? Half the world has 7 or 8. Having a brother didn't make Natalie the way she is. One look at the 2 of them together, and that big-shot psychiatrist would have known that. He's the one who ought to have his head examined. It's going to make Nat sicker just having Moose gone. Early the next morning, my father woke me. "Get your pillow, Moose," he said, snapping the buckles on my suitcase. "We're going home."